Would you vote for someone that you don't trust?
Well, people should and do trust me, and I have every confidence that that will be the outcome of this election.
Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton telling CNN people should and do trust her. But an AP GFK poll revealed her standing is falling among Democrats amid questions about her honesty. And another poll by American Crossroads found that Hillary would lose to a generic Republican candidate in 6 battleground states if the election were held today. In Colorado, Florida, Iowa, Nevada, Ohio, and Virginia, a Republican candidate would win 50%, while Mrs. Clinton would draw 42% of the vote. For more on this, let's welcome Gail Sheehy, a journalist who has followed and reported on Hillary Clinton for quite some time. And Gail is also the author of a new book entitled Daring: My Passages. Gail Sheehy, thanks for spending some time here on Newsmax Prime.
I'm glad to be with you.
And we will be happy to discuss the book, but first, gotta talk politics. You've been a longtime Hillary Clinton observer. 3 months ago, she launched her presidential campaign, but it appears right now that she's losing voters from her base as she's dropping in the polls and her unfavorability ratings are on the increase. What does this portend for her as the campaign continues?
Well, I think she has to work harder on appealing to people as a trustworthy person, and she has to be more open to the press. This has always been her Achilles heel. I was with her back in '91 when the Clintons were starting their campaign, and they just finished doing the 60 Minutes piece, and I asked Hillary, how are you going to run against the criticism? And she said, Bill doesn't understand how to fight back. And she said, I'm going to hammer the Republican attack machine and run against the press. And I feel like she's been running against the press her whole life. This is not a healthy exercise. And I think being more transparent, maybe admitting some mistakes from time to time, would stand her in much better stead.
There's another thing that I'm kind of curious about as a recovering member of Congress, and that is the role of single women in presidential elections. We know that women, especially single women, were all with President Obama for the most part on 2 occasions. Where do you believe Hillary Clinton stands with women, but especially with single women?
Well, there are a lot of single women who are in the boomer generation. 1 out of 5 voters in 2016 will be boomer women between 50 and 70. And an awful lot of them came of age at the same time as Hillary and have been waiting and waiting and waiting for even the Equal Rights Amendment, never mind a woman president. And I think she has that demographic really pretty well lined up. They want to see a woman president before they leave this earth. And the funny thing is that she was quite popular, I don't know exactly right now, with younger people who perceive her as about 20 years younger than she is. They think she's in her 40s or 50s. So they haven't been, young donors haven't been showing up for Hillary, but initially they had a fairly positive view of her. And a lot of them are single.
So it sounds like she's doing very well with women, and that remains to be seen. I'd be remiss in the short time we have, Gail, because I want to get to your book, but I just want to take a look at Donald Trump. Right now, he's ahead in Republican polling. Where do you think he'll stand with women voters?
Oh, I think women voters will really turn against him. He's a bully, and any woman can recognize that 10 miles away. He likes to humiliate people. And when the only thing he likes better than that is getting attention. And this just seems like a big reality show to me.
Well, let's take some time and talk about the reality of your new book, Daring: My Passages, a look back. And arguably, you were one of the first women to break into what was a man's world. When you look back at your success and the obstacles you faced, what was the biggest obstacle you encountered?
Well, my own fears. I was a normally fearful person, and I had to learn how to overcome that. And the way I did it was, when I fear, I dare. I took chances where I might have fallen on my face, and I did. Actually, my first book, a novel, was not a success, but I learned a lot from writing it, and I learned a lot from trying to publicize it and what I did right and what I did wrong. And eventually, if you keep on taking chances, you'll begin to fail up. And then, you know, you just have to keep repeating it and reminding yourself that when you fear, if you dare, the worst that can happen is you don't get what you set out for.
And things have worked out for
again.
you, Gail Sheehy, with your new book. We thank you for your time. Speaking of Donald Trump, as he continues his rise in the polls, a whole lot of people are wondering, could he win the Republican nomination? Does he have your vote? Let us know who your candidate of choice is by voting in our latest Newsmax poll. And to cast your vote, go to newsmaxpolls.com.